You may not see it yet, but being alone is a blessing in disguise. When you find yourself journeying on the spiritual path, solitude becomes an inevitable companion. It arrives unbidden, sometimes lasting for days, months, or even years. Many have walked this path before you, and many will follow, but in these solitary stretches, you are uniquely alone, confronted by the truest version of yourself. This solitude is rarely something we choose willingly. Often life places us there and the struggle begins. The ego resists, chafing at the silence and yearning for external distractions, applause, companionship, the endless hum of validation. Stripped of its usual comforts, the ego flails and wallows in self-pity, crying out, "Why me? Why am I alone when everyone else seems to bask in joy and togetherness?" This resistance isn't just a fleeting thought. It can feel like an insurmountable roadblock. The ego twists your perception, making you believe you are the only one traveling this lonely road. It convinces you that everyone else has it easier, that you are unfairly burdened, marked by the universe as unworthy. Yet the very awareness that you are more than your ego's complaints is the first step in a profound transformation. As you step deeper into solitude, the prison bars you thought surrounded you begin to dissolve. The silence, once deafening, becomes your sanctuary. It is here, in this quiet space, that you start to grow. Solitude becomes a fertile ground, not for loneliness, but for awareness. It is no longer time spent alone. It is time spent with the part of you that the world's noise often drowns out. You begin to hear whispers in the stillness, faint but profound, a rustle of trees as if they speak, a sense of presence within yourself that you had forgotten. This is the beginning of a metamorphosis. Slowly, gently, your soul begins to crave this solitude as much as your ego once sought distraction. The external no longer holds the same sway over you. Social gatherings, accolades, and validation lose their glitter. What replaces them is a quiet joy, a newfound appreciation for the subtle beauty of existence. The struggle with solitude transforms into surrender, and in surrender, you find freedom. The ego's cries of "why me" fade into a deeper understanding. Solitude is not a punishment but a gift. It is a call to face yourself without distraction, to witness the raw truth of your being. In this space, you can nurture your inner self, allowing the seeds of awareness and wisdom to take root. As the Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "The crowd is untruth." Away from the noise of the crowd, in the solitude of your aloneness, you are given the rare opportunity to confront your truth, to shape it, and to emerge not as a fragment of yourself, but as a whole. This journey into solitude is not for the faint of heart. It demands courage and resilience, a willingness to sit with your fears and desires without the comforting distractions of the world. But those who dare to tread this path find that solitude is not a barren desert, but a lush, fertile ground. Here, the soul takes root and grows into something resilient and true. Solitude is your hidden ally, not an adversary. When you embrace it, the world begins to unfold in ways you never imagined. And here lies the first secret. Solitude is not emptiness, it is a mirror. In its reflection, you find not the absence of others, but the presence of yourself, raw and unvarnished, waiting to be rediscovered. Transformation is rarely comfortable, and solitude often serves as its crucible. In the stillness, you begin to notice a shift, a subtle yet undeniable metamorphosis taking place within you. What once captivated your heart, like the endless chase for social validation or the allure of worldly pleasures, now feels distant, almost irrelevant. This change doesn't come suddenly. It unfolds gently, like the leaves shifting color in the embrace of autumn. At first, this shift feels disorienting. The ego, accustomed to chasing external gratification, struggles against the stillness. It whispers tales of injustice, of a life unfairly stripped of joy, feeding you a narrative of victimhood. "Why me?" it cries. "Why should I endure this isolation while others revel in companionship?" Yet the deeper you sink into the quiet, the clearer it becomes. This resistance is the ego's last stand, its desperate attempt to cling to a version of you that no longer exists. The ego thrives on distraction, on the fleeting pleasures of applause and approval. But in solitude, those distractions are stripped away, leaving you face to face with your raw, unadorned self. This is the furnace of transformation. The old layers of identity, built on societal expectations and inherited beliefs, begin to melt away. What emerges is not a new you, but a truer you, the one who has always existed beneath the noise. This process can feel excruciating, like stepping into an unfamiliar wilderness without a map. The comfort of well-trodden paths, be they societal norms, religious traditions, or the validation of peers, vanishes. What remains is the untamed landscape of your inner world. Here, there are no signposts, no fellow travelers to affirm your choices. It is just you and the vast unknown within. At first, the wilderness feels overwhelming, even hostile. The absence of familiar markers blurs your sense of direction, leaving you questioning everything you once believed to be true. But as you navigate this inner terrain, a new clarity begins to emerge. You realize that the maps you once relied upon were never truly yours. They were handed to you by a world eager to define you, to fit you into its mold. Now, in this solitude, you are free to chart your own course. The solitude burns away illusions, revealing truths that are as liberating as they are unsettling. One such truth is this: the spiritual journey is not about accumulation, but about release. It is not a quest to become more, but to become less, to shed the layers of false identity and return to your essence. In the fire of transformation, what you lose is not you, it is what you no longer need. This shedding is not easy. It requires courage to let go of the familiar, even when you know it no longer serves you. It is tempting to cling to old patterns, to return to the distractions of the world, if only to escape the discomfort of the process. But those who resist the call of transformation only delay the inevitable. The fire will come, whether you embrace it or not. The question is not if you will be transformed, but how. In the stillness of solitude, a profound realization dawns. Transformation is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. It is the universe's way of reshaping you into the vessel you were always meant to be. And here lies the second secret. In the fire of transformation, you are not being destroyed. You are being refined. Let the fire do its work. Trust that the discomfort is temporary, that the wilderness is not endless. Each step you take into the unknown is a step toward a deeper truth, a more authentic you. Resist the urge to turn back. The old paths, the familiar distractions will no longer lead you where you need to go. Instead, let the fire guide you, illuminating the way forward with its fierce, cleansing light. Solitude has a way of peeling back the layers we've long hidden behind. In its stillness, you come face to face with the masks you've worn, the beliefs you've inherited, and the stories you've told yourself to fit into a world that never truly saw you. As these layers fall away, what remains is raw, unfiltered truth, the beginning of your liberation. This shedding is not easy. The ego clings to the familiar, desperate to maintain control. Yet as you let go of old identities and outdated beliefs, you begin to see them for what they are: illusions. What you lose is not yourself, but the burdens you've carried for far too long. In their place, a quiet harmony emerges. No longer pulled by the world's demands, you find alignment with your inner rhythm. The desires that once drove you, validation, recognition, approval, fade into the background. What takes their place is a stillness that feels like home. True freedom, you realize, lies not in what you gain, but in what you release. The less you cling to, the more you can become. Solitude transforms from a burden into a sanctuary, offering the space to rebuild, not into someone new, but into who you've always been. Trust this process of shedding. Let the old fall away and allow space for something greater to emerge. This is the gift of solitude, the chance to start again, lighter and more aligned with your true self. As the transformation nears its peak, the solitude that once felt isolating now becomes a guiding light. You are no longer adrift, but anchored in a deeper truth, a truth that whispers of freedom, purpose, and connection. The noise of the world has faded, replaced by the quiet rhythm of your inner self, guiding you back to the essence of who you are. This journey isn't about returning to the person you were. It's about stepping into the person you've always been. Emerging from solitude feels like taking your first breath after holding it for too long. The relationships, ambitions, and dreams you now encounter align with the authentic core you've uncovered. These connections are no longer distractions, but reflections of your growth. And as you walk back into the world, something profound has shifted. The solitude taught you to find joy in your own company, to hear the wisdom in stillness, and to trust in the unfolding of your path. You now understand that the spiritual journey doesn't end when you rejoin the world. It deepens. Every interaction, every challenge, every moment becomes an opportunity to live in alignment with your inner truth. Here lies the final secret. The home you've been seeking was within you all along. Solitude did not show you the way. It revealed the truth that the way was already yours to walk. The spiritual path is not one of ease or certainty. It is a journey of courage and transformation. Along the way, solitude becomes your teacher, silence your guide, and truth your compass. Each chapter of this journey holds its own secret, a gift for those brave enough to seek it. The first secret: solitude is not emptiness. It is a mirror. In its reflection, you see your soul as it truly is. The second secret: transformation does not destroy you, it refines you. The fire of solitude burns away only what you no longer need. The third secret: freedom lies not in what you gain, but in what you release. In letting go, you create space for the truth to grow. And the fourth and final secret: the home you seek is within you. Solitude does not take you away from the world. It brings you closer to yourself. For those who dare to embrace the stillness and walk this path, these secrets will unlock the gates to a life of deeper meaning, profound peace, and unshakable clarity. Thank you for allowing this message to resonate within you. If it speaks to your soul, share it with others who may find solace in these truths. Let's continue this journey together, seekers of the secret, as we uncover the infinite depths of our shared spiritual awakening.